number one, John Dillinger.
Dillinger had this popular kind of Robin Hood, rob the banks, not steal the money or whatnot. They even kind of portrayed this a little bit in that movie Public Enemy.
Put it away. I hear for your money, your revenge money.
But yeah, Dillinger's a name that we all have come familiar with. You know, put him up there with like Butch Cassidy or Jesse James or, you know, Babyface Nilsson. And this is at the height, you know, this is going through the Great Depression and Prohibition, and these guys turned to crime, and that was just their life one day at a time. I've always had a fascination with firearms and with John Dillinger. He has some very unique firearms, and some of them have really cool stories behind them, and some of them were machined ahead of their time. Although this first one isn't a firearm, it definitely has a hell of a story behind it, that's for sure. Dillinger had used it to escape from county jail. On March 3rd of 1934, at Crown Point County Jail, Dillinger and his gang had organized an escape plot using this. Dillinger had crafted this phony gun to subdue an officer and take his actual firearm. The breakout was so embarrassing, Prosecutor Estill and Sheriff Hawley both resigned their posts. Just a few days later, Dillinger and his gang had actually robbed a precinct armory, and that's where we get into the guns. All right, so the most iconic of all of Dillinger's firearms would be his Thompson. It has a great story behind it. So after Dillinger's gang broke him out of the Lima, Ohio jail, 3 days later they broke into the Auburn police station. This Thompson in particular here was actually just barely returned just back in 2014. It's on display there now. So Auto Ordnance had came out with the 1927 A1. Prohibition had made this firearm very popular. With Hollywood and everything along that line as well. The Thompson's just so recognizable, for instance.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
The other features that it had that were so sought after is you could actually take the stock off of it, as well as put a vertical foregrip, and a high-capacity magazine, or just a stick magazine or whatnot, so they were fairly lightweight too. A neat and interesting thing about Dillinger, now I'm totally opposed to this when people do this, but however, you look at that 38, he already had like the extended mag, he already had a foregrip like that, vertical, and then on top of that, he already had a muzzle breaker compensator on it. I mean, and that was back in the 1930s. You know, you look at it now and it's like, holy crap, this guy was doing that way back when. It's kind of an interesting thing. It wasn't long before the FBI caught up and Dillinger was killed outside the Biograph movie theater by Special Agent Melvin Purvis. Dillinger's death brings us to the final firearm of his we'll be discussing. Amongst his personal effects that were on his person after he was shot in the back of the head was a Colt 1903, also known as the hammerless or dead man's gun. There was a .32 caliber pocket pistol, which he had his name engraved in it. Well, there you have it, guys. So that's some just fun, interesting stuff about Dillinger's firearms. Thanks so much for watching this. Please like and subscribe.